Okay, hello viewers. You are watching Literary Talks, which is a project at UFMS at the course of Contemporary Literature in English Language. So today we have two guests. They are writers. We have Nana Afadua from Ghana, is that correct?
Yes.
And we have Hannu Afere from Nigeria. Guys, thank you so
Pleased
much
to
for
meet you.
taking
Yeah.
our invitation, for being here, for making the time to be here. So I think I would like to start with a question for the both of you. So I want to know how you guys started writing literature and what are your references, both in Ghana and Nigeria, for Hanu and Ghana for Nana. Yeah, you can, ladies first, yes?
Okay. I think I've always written stories. I used to write fan fiction, so then I eventually got more confidence to write my own stories. And I guess references, just the stories I used to hear from my grandparents, and then
Right.
also authors like Amata Edu, yeah, especially, yeah, so authors like Amate do, and then Aiko Ama, yeah. Also a couple of foreign books I've read. I like Jane Austen very much, so I guess those are my references. Oh, and Toni Morrison.
Okay, nice. All right, thank you, Nana. Hanu?
Yeah. Personally, I pick inspiration from um, folklore, from stories told to me by the elders. From my grandma, my great grandma, from uh, poetry, plays. Some of them, some inspiration comes via dreams sometimes. So inspiration for me comes wherever I can find it, I guess. I don't like this question very much because um, there is a tendency for people to think that um, searching for references makes um, for better stories. Sometimes it's just, you know. Sorry,
They just,
can you hear me?
Sorry?
yeah, yes, you can.
So, it's a
Hi, can you hear
question.
me?
Excuse me?
I can
Oh,
hear you.
I think I'm
Yeah,
back.
we can
Yeah,
hear you.
I was
Yeah.
saying that yes, references and inspiration comes from diverse places, from books, from poetry, from movies, from folklore. And if we're talking about some of my favorite writers that influenced this story, which we're going to discuss today, then we'll be talking about people like Dio Fagunwa, who wrote the first of 1,000 Demons, which was translated later by the Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka. Then you would have Chinua Achebe um, for his Arrows of God. You would have people like Stephen King and Octavia Butler. So yes, inspiration comes in diverse ways, and sometimes you know it can be very interesting to navigate and explore these different ways without waiting for. I like to say that I chase after inspiration with a big stick. Just work and it will come. I don't know if I answered the question if I was rambling a bit there.
Yeah. Okay. The reason for this question is because much of our view in Brazil, we don't have much contact with uh, African literature. So I would like to, I ask you about your references from your country so we can know a little bit more, get some names, etc. Uh, so we can move on to the next question. Yes, okay.
Uh, Sorry, I can barely hear you.
You can hear me. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Get better. Yes. So we're going to next question, right? And personally, we have read some of your short stories and poems, and we have read some of your journey as writers. And I have a question to Hannu, and
How do you come
about
on?
your work with other types of art. Like we know that you already did some graphic novels, right? And I want to know is what is the difference? How different is it to work with literature itself and this other art like more graphic novels and cartoons? Yes. How is it? Did you hear me? I think it's some trouble. Yeah, some technical issues. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's no problem. Uh, so maybe we can ask Nana a question? Yes. I also have a question to Nana. I have a question and a comment about,
Oh,
especially about the short story Animal Instinct that I read like some days ago, and I really love it. Like I really appreciated how subtle is the criticism about the sexism that it is present in the short story, because especially in the scenario, the scene of the father in front of the house and speaking loudly with his friends while the mother is inside, like, inside in the bedroom taking care of the baby, crying, you know. So it's really how I said, it's a sort of criticism, but it's fascinating. So and it's just a comment. I just want to say that because it's really, I really like it.
thank you very much.
And my question is about the Strange Folk. Yeah, yeah, another short story. Very good too. Yeah. Then
Thank
I'm curious about that legend of the island, the Mother Ocean. That whole that story. It's something culture something of the folklore of Ghana, or it's all from your mind? Like you created all that story.
some of it. It's folklore. The island is inspired by. There's a beach my parents used to take me when I was a child, and you can see an island from the beach. And for some reason, nobody goes to the island. It's just there. So that's what that island is inspired by. But everything else, the Mother Ocean, and not going into the ocean on Tuesday, that is inspired by folklore, and people take it very seriously.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. Because here in Brazil, especially in the east, northeast of the country,
we have deeply influence of the African culture,
Yeah, yeah.
especially in religion.
And we have goodness, and Orisha, yes.
Orisha, yeah, called Iemanjá. So it's kind of similar to what I read in the Mori Ocean, but I'm not sure if it has
A direct relation.
a
Yeah.
relationship between the Iemanjá and this goodness, you know.
The Mother Ocean. Yeah.
Have you ever heard the Iemanjá, this name, or it's some Brazilian thing?
I think I have. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but I think I have.
Okay.
Okay, nice. Uh,
My question is from Hannu. You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. My apologies.
Um, no problem. You you work in from graphic novels too, correct? You co-author.
Sorry, say that again.
Um, you working with graphic novels, right?
Working with who?
Graphic novels.
Uh, sorry. Nana, did you catch that?
No, I didn't.
Um,
Sorry, can you repeat this? I didn't
Yes,
hear what you
I,
said.
he
um,
said, can I, Fabiano, help you? He
uh,
asked you if you work with graphic novels, like illustrations and
Books. Oh yes, absolutely. I do. I do.
Uh, okay, my question is, how different is it to work with literature and other arts, such as graphic novels and screenplays or cartoons?
Oh, um, that's a very interesting question. First of all, my apologies. My audio has been terrible, so I just rectified it. If I was rambling earlier, it's completely my fault. My apologies. Yes, I was saying that to answer your question, graphic novels are quite different from writing short stories or writing prose because you have to first be able to visualize what it is you want to say, your message, the storyboards, the characters, what they look like. All of that has to be solid. Unlike when you're writing prose, depending on the writer, sometimes just tell the story without having a destination in mind. For a graphic novel or a comic book, you have to know what's going to happen from the beginning to the end, from your introduction to your um, inciting incidents, your conflict, and your resolution. I think that's the major difference, being able to plot all these different scenes in your head, being able to visualize them, draw the characters, every tiny detail is done before committing to paper. Did that answer your question?
Sorry, do you draw?
Oops. Catch that, yeah?
Do you make the drawings for the graphic novel?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, you,
Yes,
you,
okay,
you draw.
nice.
Mhm.
Uh, because in the Omenana site for your short story, How to Kill a God, we have an
Yes.
illustration. We were wondering if that was made by you or by someone else.
Oh, yes, yes. So the idea was we didn't want to use AI for um, the the illustration because solidarity with
Yeah.
all our writers, and so yeah, we decided to draw it by hand and then send it to them.
Okay, nice. Well,
Okay. Uh, Morning. Is it my turn now? I'm a little bit lost.
Yeah, it's you. Yeah.
Okay. Guys. Okay. Is my question about the literary sources?
No. We answered that already.
Okay. Where are we? I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh yeah. You wanted to make a question to Hannu about the short story How to Kill a God, right?
Okay. So first, let me introduce myself. My name is João. I am in the middle of my internship now. This is a Brazilian high school. I've talked to them about you guys. And guys, would you like to say hi? Okay, my first question goes to Hannu because I really appreciated To Kill a God. I've talked to you on Instagram the other day,
Yes,
and I would like to know where did you drew inspiration from to create the orishas, at least the depictions? I mean, the powers, the design, the characters. Because Shafana, is that the way it's pronounced? Shafana, the god of disease?
yes, Chopin.
Shafana. I found him very interesting, the way he turns himself into a computer virus. So, where did that come from?
Like I was saying earlier, inspiration comes from all around us. For example, the Orisha which you referenced, Shokono, is traditionally the Orisha of smallpox. Um, but he's not just the Orisha of disease. He can also be the Orisha of virus. So, for example, during COVID-19 in 2020, we all saw that there was lockdown and the whole world was essentially on pause because of that. That was what inspired me to create an Orisha or give such attributes to an Orisha who already existed, obviously. But in my head, I imagined that of all the Orishas, who would most likely be responsible for such a great catastrophe in the world? To Bishop Ono, who is in charge of diseases and has the ability to shut everything down. Because an unhealthy body, an unhealthy city is, well, essentially half dead. They won't be able to operate, they won't be able to carry out normal activities and all that. But Shapono is a real entity, is a real Orisha. I think in Brazil, you might know him as Obaluaye. Yeah, so yeah, but he goes by that name as well as Shokono. For the purpose of the story, however, I just made it more fictionalized. Does this answer your question?
Yes, a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We also found fascinating, just a comment, Hannu,
Yeah.
how you get those orishas and you put some cyberpunk thing in between. It's like we loved it. It's so nice, so original.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's
I'm glad you
mix
did.
of,
Obrigado.
a mix of science fiction and Afro culture. It's kind of original. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I'd like to ask to Nana about the relation of two short stories that has a kind of similar theme, that is uh, animal instincts and a generation of fragile things. Yes. Okay. That is, I would like to ask two questions. how do you think the male perspective, the view of the world by by the eyes of a woman is reflected in these short stories? Because I see this it's pretty present in these short stories.
I think I think in animal instincts, the women are trying very hard to keep everything together, even though they're falling apart. And when they are together, they can they can fall apart. They don't have to be perfect, but then so we don't have to be these perfect women that society expects of them, or even the older generation of women expects from them. I think basically animal instincts is about the pressures society puts on women, and the pressures they inflict on themselves sometimes, which is I think the last lines of the stories I think is they already think we are mad anyways, so might as well not go outside. And then in a generation of fragile things, even though the women have control technically over when the men die, the men are still centered in the story because the women still want to make sure the men are well respected so they stay long. So it's still I think it's still the same thing. The women still feel pressured to be to make sure the men are respected and to the because the rest when they go to the zoo and the other women see that uh, um Jason's grandfather is dying, everybody keeps glancing at Lydia why she didn't respect her grandfather enough. So now he's dying. So it's the same thing. There's still so much pressure on the women in a generation of fragile things the same way. It's just about pressure on women and how they struggle to keep up with it. And this need to be perfect all the time. And in reality, they are imperfect, but they have no one to break down to because even the men around them, even the men they think they can what is the word? The men they think they can confide in, like how Lydia thought she could tell her husband that she can't handle all this work. He still didn't care. He still put himself above her. So it's all about societal pressure on being a woman and being perfect because it won't stop for you. You have to serve the system. They are basically the same about the pressure society puts on you as a woman.
Okay, yeah, I love your answer. Thank you so much. I also wanted to say I love animal instinct. So the whole theme of the pressure presented in motherhood in the story for me was fascinating. Uh, you have like two women, right, that are mothers. The pressure is on them. So also I noticed that everyone around I forgot the name of the character. The
The mom or
the one
the lost child?
yeah the lost Rita is it Rita?
Rita.
Yes, yeah. Everyone around Rita is judging her because she lost her child, but like no one's judging the father or anything. It's always the pressure is always on the woman, on the mother. Yeah.
And I think that the criticism is so deeply that the title says a lot. But
Yeah.
when I read Animal Instinct and I read the text itself,
It's like it's an animal thing. The woman is synthesized, is resumido. Yes, synthesized as a animal. She doesn't have a personality. She's just a job. She must do her job as mother. So yeah, this sexism in our society, unfortunately, is something uh, is present nowadays. Yeah,
but the text brings these questions so well, so really good. Yeah, we just love the short story, so we're talking about it all the time. Yeah. But I also like the metaphor, like the man disappearing, turning into a gold. The generation of Brazil. Yeah, in another short story, it is like he's a gold, but he stay there, like it's kind of cool the metaphor. Okay.
Thank you.
And it's really exciting to have this conversation with the authors because we have been in a university for like 4 years, reading a lot of text and literary text, but we never ever had like the chance to talk with the authors itself, So it's kind of cool to have the opportunity. Yes. So, Jono, Fabiano would like to make other question? Okay.
Os técnicos.
John, do we have any questions in your classroom? Eu acho que o João não sabe, não sabe.
Yeah, I have the question. Um, my question is about the poem "We Do Not Wish to Scare for You" from Hannu. Uh, your perspective of horror is very interesting. I'm love, and my question is about is we see horror as a thing of daylight. So my question is, how does it is connected with the world we live in and with your own life?
So did you get it, Hannu?
I like.
Uh,
Sorry,
okay, I'll
maybe
try
repeat.
to. So Fabiano was talking about one of her poems. I think it's called "We Do Not Wish to Scare You." We love this poem because it brings the theme of horror as a daylight thing, as a day-to-day thing, So we would like to know how does it connect with the world we live in and with your own life as an individual.
Hi, Fabiano. Yeah, so I heard you, but I wasn't sure. Um, Thank you for that question. It's a very good question. Um, in our society today, you notice that people tend to sugarcoat things. For example, if they want to talk about um, crises in war-torn areas, maybe what's going on in Sudan or in Congo or Palestine, people tend to shy away from those things and focus on things that are more easier to talk about, that are more mundane. Is what I wanted to say. Um, People generally shy away from heavy topics, and that's a broader interpretation of what's going on in the poem. But to bring it home, sometimes you look at even within the family, there might be, maybe a case of a child who has um, maybe mental illness, maybe he's been abused, heavy topics like that, or maybe he's been bullied in school. You have cases of parents trying to, um, dodge the real questions and dodge the difficult things. They do not want to face the problem head on. So they tend to come up with explanations for why those things are happening, which are untrue. That's where the poem comes from. If you notice, you would see absurd and impossible explanations to certain things that are happening. You would have a parent, for example, beating up the child because the child likes to stay in a dark room. And you would say maybe the child likes witchcraft, or maybe the child um, is not a normal person, things like that. And then it ends up becoming a cycle of abuse because someone had done it before to the parent, and then it transfers to the child, and that's all the child knows to do to his own child, and then on it continues. So the general idea was to bring things that are very mundane and turn them, and then show how they can be perceived as horror. It's the little things that matter. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So yeah, I love your comment on the things that we see every day, like war. So what is happening right now in Palestine? We read it on the news, we see it on TV, and like most people tend to just ignore it and not to see how much of a horror there is, in this colonial process, right? Yeah, that is happening in Palestine right now.
Yes,
So yeah,
exactly.
love your comment. Thank you.
Right now we're not, but the Brazil is passing through how do I say that? It's a mega hyper operation.
Yeah. Yesterday, what happened was a police operation in Rio de Janeiro to like war on drugs. The same old excuse.
Against
And
the criminal organization.
yeah, and they killed around, I think,
More than 100.
yeah, 120 people at communities in Rio de Janeiro just yesterday, and it has a lot to do also with the horror that we see every day on the news with that is on daylight. There were piles of bodies in the streets. It was like crazy.
So sorry. That's terrible. That's terrible.
That's sorry. It's terrible.
My heart goes
Yeah.
out to all those lost, and
So going back to general question for both of you, right?
Okay.
Can I ask? Can I ask them that?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back on my feet now. I am at the teacher's room. Okay. So, what question do you want me to ask? The one about the future projects?
Not just yet. We would like to ask them what they know about the Brazilian literature.
Okay. Have you ever read any Brazilian authors before? I mean, are you familiar with Brazilian literature in general?
no, I'm not. Unfortunately, I only started learning Brazilian Portuguese on Duolingo, and just recently, So, but yes, I will be getting into Brazilian literature a lot in the future, a lot because I watch some of these. I watch some of the shows on Netflix. I watch some of the Brazilian speculative sci-fi shows, apocalyptic shows, and all that. And I think that it's very interesting how our cultures are similar. For example, in Bahia, we have um, descendants of Yoruba, Fon, and Congolese people, and they're carrying on the traditions from Africa, from Nigeria, and West Africa, even Ghana, all the way there, and it's still alive and strong. I'm very interested in seeing things. I'm reading about them, but it's difficult to do that when you don't speak Brazilian Portuguese that well or can't read it that well. So yes, to answer your question, I've only just begun learning how to read Brazilian Portuguese.
No, quite. I'm also just dipping my toes into Brazilian literature, but I have read one translation. I've read The Dark Side of Skin by Jefferson I'm not going to try. I will mispronounce his surname, so I will not try.
Jefferson Tenório, yes.
Yes, I have read that. I like that book. So that's the
Yeah.
one Brazilian book I have read.
Also, a curiosity, like not so cool, but a fun fact. In our state, which is Mato Grosso do Sul, this book was censored because of the themes it talks about. So people, the government was removing it from schools, and I think they tried to remove it from libraries as well. That was like a big thing that happened about this book.
Some political group,
Yeah.
like take some excerpts, some part of the book out of the context, so they make a lie basically.
Yeah, they took the part that talks about sexuality, and they said they were teaching kids how to have sex through this book. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was during the last government, right? Because the book's like from
The Bolsonaro government.
the book's from 2019, I think, around that time. So that is a thing that happened in our state. Crazy. But sorry, Hannu?
Yes, I wanted to say that Paulo Coelho, am I pronouncing it
Paulo
correctly?
Coelho? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yes, that counts, does it? That counts as
Yeah,
Brazilian
it counts. Yeah. You read him?
Oh yes, I love The Alchemist. It's one of my favorite books.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of cool to see some similarities between, not exactly similarities, but the proximity we have with the Ghana in Nigeria, even
African culture in
African
general.
culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I read, I didn't feel that I was reading French, a foreign literature.
Yeah.
You know, it's quite familiar to us. I don't know exactly how to explain this, but all the aesthetics, the style that you write is so familiar to us.
Yeah, even though it's written in English, it still felt
Even in
very,
English,
very
yeah.
familiar. Especially when in the How to Kill a God, when you start, with some African words that we know in Brazil, like we're talking about Orisha, some names like Shogun, for example. So yeah, that's very nice.
And I went to uma pergunta, acho que não, né?
So yeah, we were talking about also maybe would you guys like some recommendations? We have some authors that are like that have many translations to English. If if that would be useful for you.
Yes, I would like some recommendations.
So I think the biggest name in our literature is Machado de Assis, and he has a lot of translations in English. So maybe try you can try to search for some of his novels that are like great stuff. Uh, and also, yeah, we have a comment here. Clarice Lispector is also another one that has a lot of translations. Also, big name of Brazilian literature.
Conceição Evaristo, too, the most recent one, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was, how can I
Clarice
say?
Lispector too.
Yeah, no, she was a maid. I mean, 10 years ago, she was working as a maid. And now she's one of the most important writers of our literature. I mean, if you want to schedule an appointment with her, you must do it, I mean, years in advance. I mean, and she was translated into 8 languages, I guess. And I mean, this person was cleaning other people's houses, I mean, years ago. I mean, it took us a lot of time to accept her as a writer. I mean, as a respectful writer. You know.
Yeah.
So, I would like to ask some suggestions of the some authors of Nigerian literary and
Ghana,
literature.
Ghanaian literature. If you have some names, like we have read you, so I personally I really like it. Maybe I will read some other text. So I would like some suggestions if you have some. Like
Um, well, yeah,
okay,
I would rather give you a list. I think I will send you a list later on. But off the top of my head, I can think of Nedo Korafo, who is like the most popular um, Nigerian American speculative writer. Um, there is someone I love to recommend, although he wrote in Yoruba. He's no longer with us, unfortunately. But he wrote in Yoruba, and his work was translated by the Nobel laureate Wale Soyinka. He wrote a book called The First of 1,000 Demons. So if you can get a hold of that, yes, he was what got me started, on writing speculative fiction, especially Afro speculative fiction. Um, Amongst my contemporaries, you would find obviously T.J. Benson. You should read his Madhouse. It's in English, but yeah, you would enjoy it. You should also check out Demi Aguda. She's the author of Ghost Roots. I think I'll send you a more detailed list later on, but off the top of my head right now, those are my recommendations.
All right. Thank you, Hannu. Nana, you have any
Uh,
suggestions?
I've got Amata Edu. Just read everything by Amata Edu. She's amazing. And then there's Ivana Kutowa. She's contemporary. She's got a book out. It's called The Year of Return. And not Ghanaian, but Nigerian, Wole Talabi.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. We're gonna take some notes. Yes.
or
We can watch the video again later and try to write down those names.
yeah,
Because I really in Brazil, although we have a lot of influence of African culture, we don't like connect to African literature like in our day to day. It's not a thing that people talk about very much. So me, for example, you guys, your texts were like my first
yeah.
experience with African literature, and like
Really?
I love it so much, and that's why we were asking you for suggestions.
And
No, I
there,
think the only African author we saw at university was Mia Couto, but
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
the
true.
only one.
yeah.
In like 4 years, the only name it was Nyako.
Yeah.
And
So what, you read Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe?
Oh, I heard about this one, but I haven't read it. Things fall
You
apart.
Because
should.
I
Great
think
book.
our professor that was here, Elton, told us about this book.
okay, because it was translated to Brazilian Portuguese a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think you're going to find it very interesting and like a primer to native Nigerian society or native Igbo society.
I think they'd like the gods are not to be blamed too.
Oh yes, you'd absolutely love that as well. But that's a play. That's a that's a drama piece. It goes about to blame. It's very interesting. It draws from the Greek story of um, Oedipus.
Oedipus.
Yes. So yeah, you should check it out as well. Thank you, Nana. That's a good recommendation.
All right, yeah. Thank you guys for the so many recommendations.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we have more time, so we're finishing the the course right now. So when we have time, we can check those out for sure.
And
Yeah.
I think your texts are really good to bring to the classroom
Yeah.
some literary text itself to our students, to take like the texts that I talked ago and all that the themes that you abordar. I'm not sure how
That
to
you
say.
talked about.
Talking about your aesthetics at all.
Yeah. Yeah, because we are here to learn how to be teachers, and it would be very nice to take some of your texts to our students in
To our
English.
classes,
Yeah, in English classes, it would be. I think it would be great.
the high school,
They
No, I
will
speak
for
from
sure.
no,
Sorry,
I
John.
speak from experience. I'm at a high school institution now, and I've talked to them about you like, guys, today we're gonna, how can I say, we're gonna watch the interview. Okay, I'm gonna talk to them and you'll be able to watch. And they're like, oh my god, they're writers. Like, what did they write? And then I talked about Hannu's text about the gods. I talked about your text. I'm so sorry, I'll probably mispronounce it. How do I pronounce your name, Nana?
Nana Fedwa.
Nana, okay. And Nana writes about that island, like that monster island, and their eyes were shining, you know, because we don't get, like, they don't get to know authors in general here. It's very, how can I say? It's not interesting, it's boring. Sometimes it only has to do with grammar, and when they really get to see the authors in person, see them briefing, talking, I don't know,
Yeah.
like when they get to learn that you guys exist, it's incredible. I mean, sometimes I had to ask them to stay quiet. Like, please, guys, I can't listen to them because they were like, "Oh my God, they're there, they're alive. I want to ask something." Some kids even brought me notebooks full of questions for you. Like, they wanted to talk to you. Unfortunately, we don't have time to do that, but I totally agree with the boys. I mean, getting to know you and bringing your texts to our classrooms in Brazil is, I mean, a quintessential thing for our work as teachers. You know?
Yeah, for sure. I think they'll be very familiar with some terms that you guys bring in your text because of this Africa influence here in Brazil. So maybe it feels more familiar. It might feel more familiar to them than an European or a North American text, for example. I mean, I feel like it.
That's interesting.
So we have a last question just to end our interview. Is it like two?
Can I ask this one? So I'll
Yeah.
have three questions. So three, three, three. So, okay, what are your future plans as writers? I mean, what are your future projects? Are you working on something right now? What do you want to do in the next years, the following years? Sorry.
Nana, do you want to go first?
No, you go first.
I was going to say, you know. Um, well, yeah, for me, I have a novel coming out. It's also titled To Kill a God. it's an extension of the short story. So I signed a 4 book deal for that. Um, Thereafter, there is an animated film coming out based on the same title as well, To Kill a God. And then we have a book of poems titled Have Children. So that comes out after the animated film. There is also an EP, which is, just like 4 songs on the EP, um, around the same theme of Orisha, speculative fiction, cyberpunkness, African mythology. Those are like the 4 immediate projects coming out, back to back. Next year, obviously, there'll be others, but yeah, those are the 4 in the near future.
I've got I've got a story. Well, it came out this week. I've got a story out in that's coming out this week called The Replacement Sister. And then I'm working on a novel in a secondary world, so a big fantasy world. Think the Wheel of Time. And then yeah, that's basically it. Oh, and I want to write a comic. I love DC comics, so I love your shirts. I like your t-shirts. Go
Oh yeah,
Superman.
thank you. So yeah, very nice comics. I like.
You have
Very
a
different.
collection,
Yeah,
that
yeah. Me and João, we love comic books. Like
What
we
kind of
talk about
comics
it.
do you like?
So we like the mainstream Marvel and DC, of course, but also we have some how do I say indie, like independent comic books. There is a one that is by Brazilian authors, but it came out in English. I don't know if you guys heard about it. Day Tripper, like
No.
fantastic stuff. I think he got a prize like Eisner, right? The comic prize.
Yeah,
So a few years ago, very good stuff.
yeah.
I
Uh,
will check.
yeah, we will look forward for your next work, Hannu. Your novel that will come out, as I understand, is an extension of the short story. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
So
I'll
the short,
definitely.
I was rooting
yeah,
for that because I was like, bro, this would give a fantastic romance. I would like a
Yeah.
fantastic novel. I want more. I mean, why did you? I want to
We
read
call
more.
Netflix.
Where's the rest of
Honestly,
the story?
yeah, yeah. To come out soon, and thereafter there's going to be an animated film, like an anime. Are you familiar? Do you like anime?
yes. Do you like anime?
Anime, yes, for
Yeah,
sure.
so there will be an anime version of the story as well. And
Ooh.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Actually, 90% done with that one. Um, so then afterwards, use some music and then some poetry. But all of this is in the same universe. So you'll be seeing more of the characters which you've already read about in the short story.
Very nice. Yeah. Uh,
Very, very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yes. Uh, our professor just told us that are questions in YouTube that we did not see. We will try to. Yeah.
I read.
Yeah. You can read.
So a viewer has a question that is, your stories have been translated here in Brazil. Do you have any hints for Brazilian readers to dive better in your creation? I'm not sure who asked it, but that's a question that emerged.
Um, do we have any what?
I think it's tips. Actually,
Hints,
they said
tips.
hints, but I think it's like tips.
Yeah. Tips for
Yeah.
Brazilian readers to dive better in your creation.
Oh, um, hmm. um, other than other than um, other than just making the effort to learn about the culture through the music, through the art, through Afrobeat is a thing now. It's huge. So those are ways one can supplement their understanding of the culture. Other than that, I would just say read as much as you can. Read as much as you can outside of your sphere of um, uh, comfort. Read outside of um, Brazilian literature, read African literature, read um, Black American literature, and there's a lot. All of this is intertwined. So there's a lot of our cultures mixing every time. Every time it's like a continuous tango. Hannah?
Yeah, what Hannu said. Exactly what Hannu said.
Okay, nice. Do you have any other questions?
We have some here. Um, okay, I will read this one. So, do people in your countries usually read works from neighbor countries, or is it more common to read national works? Are Europeans' work more widely read than national ones?
Nana, I think you should answer this.
I think apart from no, I think I think actually I'm not sure
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I think national work is read a lot, but we read a lot of Nigerian work too. So because they're the closest anglophone country to us. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think European work is read more on an average. We read a lot more European work because I think we only read more only and by changing now we read more African work and more work from neighboring countries. But as long as but it's mostly anglophone stories, not translations, but not as much national work, but we read from neighboring African countries. So I don't think we read as much European work as we used to. So I'm not really sure. I think it's not. It's that's a balance.
Okay.
I agree. I think there is a revolution,
Mhm.
where we used to read a lot of European and American writers, but now there is a revolution where we are reading more of national works as well as neighboring works from neighboring countries in West Africa, in East Africa. We even have some popular North African books as well. Um, and of course, we also read um, South American authors, um, like does Diaz count as a South American author? I think he's Puerto Rican. But yes, we also read. So like she said, there is a balance, but you know, it's not set in stone.
All right.
Okay. There's another question here. Someone asked you what kind of literature you usually read.
I tried to answer this earlier, but my my audio was acting funny. I was
Yeah.
saying that for inspiration, I read a lot of sci-fi. I read everything from NASA bulletins to uh, Stephen King and Octavia Butler, um, So also obviously Nigerian authors like Geofagoa, Nediographor, and all these other people. But I've learned not to chase. Sorry, is this question about inspiration or about just what
Uh,
you like to read?
it's kind of both, but you can separate it if you want.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I think I was trying to make this point earlier, that I've also, something I've recently learned to do is to not chase after inspiration because inspiration is a very fickle spirit. It's quick to vanish, when pursued. Because sometimes when you, what happens when you have a writer's block, so you really can't chase inspiration. You just have to show up anyway. I think that's when the real work begins. When you show up, you write through the silence. You do not wait for references from authors you love. You take inspiration from everything that happens around you, from the news, from even signboards, from stories that you hear or pick up from, relatives, friends, your grandmas, things like that. So I always say it's better to keep walking, pen in hand, until the storm finds you, until that inspiration comes. I was saying, walk with the big stick and chase the inspiration by yourself. It's not going to come to you.
Right. What about you, Nana?
Um, I typically read fantasy and literary fiction. Yeah, a lot of fantasy, a lot of literary fiction, a lot of poetry and short stories and comics.
Right, nice. Comics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What's your
Uh,
favorite superhero?
Superman.
oh yeah, me too.
Oh, okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
Cool. Who's mine
Nice.
to get from DC? From Marvel, I like Spider-Man.
I
About
don't
you,
like.
Hanu? Do you have one?
Um, yeah, for me, it's the Wolverine. Many years ago, I used to cosplay as the Wolverine, and I used to even style my hair as the Wolverine. Yeah. In fact, in my early days as a writer, people called me the Wolf because it was a whole thing. It was a whole piece.
Very
That,
nice.
that's cool.
I I think because of this conversation, I'm going to send you Professor Elton a comic that I wrote some time ago in 2018. Well, I co-wrote it. So I'll send it to him. It might be of interest to you. It's quite large,
Right.
so I'm going to send it via mail to him. So you can share to you.
Thank you. So I think there are no more questions in the chat. So I think we can end it here, guys. Thank you so much for taking your time to be here. We had some technical issues at the beginning, but I think it all worked out well. So yeah, I just wanted to thank you for your literature, for your time, for your answers, for being so nice to us. Uh, that's it. Would you like to make a last comment before we end?
From me, just to say that it was an absolute pleasure. I enjoyed being here with you all, from Yao to Gabriel to Jason to Fabiano and Nana. Thank you for the conversation was very stimulating.
Thank you, Hanu.
Thank you.
It was very nice. It was very
Thank you.
nice talking to all of you. Had lots of fun.
Thank you. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for our viewers. And I think we can end it right here.
I think it's done.
Yeah, well, we would love to keep some contact with you guys if that's possible, because I just
That
love your work, love to talking to you. So thank you so much.
no problem. That's
No
absolutely
problem.
fine.